Hey, good evening. This is Trenton Lee, and this is my personality project video, my reflection video, and answering the questions to the Myers-Briggs assessment that I did. Um, First of all, I've never done a personality test at all, so this was extremely fascinating, and it was it was so fascinating. I even, as cheesy as it sounds, I even called my mom to tell her, this is why I'm wired the way I am. This is why, this is all this. It's almost like puzzle pieces fitting together. And we'll get to all that, as I go and answer the questions. But so my personality result was the ESFJ, which is also the console, is what the nickname of it is. And the letters stand for extroverted, sensitive, feeling, and judging. It's pretty spot on what I am, who I am as a person, my moral values. A lot of the questions were asking about, pretty much, do I think with my brain or my heart? And 100% of the time, I'm going to think with my heart, even if it's not, the factual way to do it. I'm very sympathetic. I do have a big heart, I feel like, and pretty caring and genuine, and kind of the one that keeps everyone together. I've always been told. Let's see. To answer some of the questions. So that was the first question. Second, briefly describe personality. Yes, I do agree 100% with the results. It was pretty spot on, and I sent it, to my friend and my best friend and my mom, to get their input for the next question, and they could testify too that was pretty spot on. I think people with other different personality styles that is not ESFJ, I believe that they would still, find ESFJ personality people to be just, good people, reliable, caring, maybe people who aren't as in touch with their feelings, or I have a lot of friends that are not. Actually, I don't know another ESFJ, and I am the kind of go-to person that, when someone has something wrong, they always come to me. I juggle a lot of people's problems, but what makes me get fulfillment, because most of the time I'm able to help them break it down, understand it, and they always leave feeling better, and that's just kind of what makes me feel good, being able to be that voice of reason. And I feel like I'm pretty tenderhearted. Sorry, it sounds corny, but I need to also, people with ESFJ people have a harder time, admitting this stuff, because we feel, you almost feel like you're bragging, and that's not what I want to come across, as. More or less, I just want to accept that it is what it is, and it is good traits to have, and so yes, I called my mom first and asked her what she thought about the results, and she said that she agrees with the results, that I've always been the one that keeps my family together. I plan dinners, and I'm talking about with my brothers, grandparents, aunts, uncles. I like to try to get everybody together at least once a month. Keep in touch. On Facebook, I've got all the family history groups split up, and in each family side, I've got a page for each one that I invite people to that's in the family, and share and connect with each other. And it's a passion of mine, and it's what I enjoy. And she also says that I am able, a lot of people depend on me, and she thinks that I say yes too much, which is 100% true. I'm always, agreeing to something, or, putting other people's feelings before myself. And as my mother, she sees it a lot, and she's not the most fond of it. She's kind of like, you need to set boundaries. You don't need to juggle other people's problems. You need to, focus on yourself. And, it's just, I get that, but also it's hard for, me to do that because I kind of feel like it's what I'm here for, is to help people. I also called my best friend Danny, or I texted him the results and then asked him to do a phone call, and he said that he completely agrees with it. He says that I have the biggest heart of anyone he knows, and I always remember to ask important things that I'm told, and I always remember, and that's the kind of stuff that, makes him very happy. If he's struggling with something, I'll check in a week or two later and ask him about it and stuff, and he said it means a lot, just remembering, just being there. And he says that I'm the reason our friend group, we've got about 8 friends from high school that are still really close, and he says that, and it's been 10 years since high school, and he says I'm the majority of the reason why we're still together, because, I plan stuff and get everybody together, and I just want everybody to be, close and connected. And so yeah, that's what they both were pretty agreeing about it. Was one thing I learned about myself during the process that I thought was interesting or worth sharing. The pretty much coming to terms with not saying no. I have a really tough time with saying no. If someone wants to do plans or something, I'm usually very sensitive of other people's feelings and worried about I'm going to hurt their feelings. And also criticism. Criticism is not a strength of mine. I look at it sometimes as not an attack, but maybe attack on my character or whatnot, when really it's not. It's just, other people maybe setting boundaries. For example, my good friend lives in the mountains. I'm his 2-year-old daughter's godfather. I'm very close with them, and I'm always, sending dates I can come, like, hey, I'm free, the dates of this month or the dates of this month. And, finally he told me, which the other day he was like, let me ask you, hey, are you free this date or this day? He was like, because it just makes me feel pressured. And at first I was very offended by it. I was like, wow, like, I'm just the worst person in the world, sorry, and it's just, one thing I'm going to take, and it ties into one of the last questions, one thing I will take away from this is also I'm going to learn to accept criticism better, because that's not a strong suit of mine. Yes, that's what I want to improve in communication. Team environment, I just, everyone responding and having input, and I love teamwork. I don't like solo work. Meaning like at work and stuff, I do facilities and coordinating, so I do a lot of teamwork and facilitating times and working with different groups, and it's what's enjoyable for me. But anyways, that's pretty much who I am, what I am, and really happy I took this test, personally, for many reasons, but I feel like I understand myself more. Look forward to hearing my other group members. Thank you.